Hi, my name is Banyon of the Renegade Masons. I'm the lead vocalist. Up until 6 months or so, that's all I was, until I got Rocksmith and my gaming addiction kicked in. And then I come across this bass here. And that's really why you're here, is to find out how to fix your bass key for pretty much less than 50 cents. If you already have the JB Weld, it's already less than 50 cents. If you don't have the JB Weld, you're going to have to get some. But otherwise, all you need is a little JB Weld, a 22 shell that's already been fired off, a quarter, and a Dremel with a diamond bit that can cut a slot into your quarter and a slot into the bullet casing as well. And then you'll need to drill a hole in the base of it. I'll explain this and show it to you right now. Okay, first off, what you gotta do is you're gonna have to cut a slot in this quarter that fits the flattened post on the missing peg on the base. So what you would do is you'd mark the gauge whatever the size of your peg is individually, because they are all different. Get yourself a pair of pliers. Vice grips work a little better. I couldn't find mine. Anyway, get you some pliers. Get you your diamond wheel. Get a good gauge of where it is. I already know. Well, we got our groove, and a word to the wise for those of you out there: cut a little shy to your marks. Sometimes marks don't transfer right, and there's a little bit of an excess. And in this case, any kind of excess is going to cause looseness. We want a nice snug fit. A little looseness is fine, because the chemicals can mix together with the JB Weld and get up in there, but too much slack can be a bad thing. And these are pretty easy to cut. They come apart pretty quick. Lots of debris coming off there, so always remember, wear your safety glasses. But basically, yeah, there we have our groove in our quarter. You want to take your bullet casing and do the same thing, along with drilling a hole in the bottom. And once we get those things together, we can start assembling our project. And we're going to do that right now.
What to do in this difficult time when nothing's the same, girl. I wish it would rain, girl, and wash away my pain, wash away all of my pain. My days are long and my nights are so hard. I took your call and I woke in alone. I'd like to keep you right here by my side, but I got this feeling that our love has died. I wanna tell you we should give it a go, but I feel it's over and I think you should know that nothing's the same, girl. I wish it would rain, girl, and wash away my pain, wash away all of my pain, wash away my pain, wash away my pain, girl. Come on, shining so bright, and just in time, what a lovely sight. I'm losing you, and I wish that I knew
our supplies. We have our gun shell that has been cut down both sides and the end drilled out to fit over the post on the tuner. We have our quarter that's been tracked out to fit onto the flat section of the post. It's a rounded post, but it's flattened, ground flat on two sides. So this is designed to grab flat on each side through the cut that you placed in it. We have our little stirring rod. We have our JB weld. And all we got to do is mix up some JB weld, and we're good to go. And that's what we're going to do next. Alright, just make sure you mix your JB weld thoroughly. You want it to be an even color of gray all the way around, or the combination of whatever two colors of JB weld you use. I use the steel, JB weld steel and metal. We are dealing with metal, so we want something that's going to bond the metal. Epoxy doesn't tend to work out right. It tends to break away because it does not bond truly to the metal. It depends on what kind of epoxy you're dealing with, but the standard epoxy, from what I've had trouble with metal and some plastics, tends to break away. You want to take your casing, you want to get a little bit of it, and you want to just very carefully shove it inside and coat the walls, like so. You want to make sure there's a good coat all the way around, all the way down to the bottom. And add a little bit more up here at the top for when the quarter drops down, that it can grab a little extra and make a better bond as it goes down. So there's our casing. Now we got to take our quarter and do the same thing. Right around the edge of the track that we've cut out, we need to take and smear the JB weld up into the track and very lightly around the edges of the track. Not too far out, because if you put it too far out, you'll have JB weld all over your quarter, and the bullet casing is a small 22 round, which only covers a little bit larger space than the cut you put into it. Then you simply slide the two together, and there is your tuning key repair for less than 50 cents. Now before it sets, you need to mount it onto your base. It's JB weld. Once it sets, it's going to be like steel. If you wait too long, you're going to have to start all over again. Basically, we're going to take this and I'm going to go put it on the base right now. Now at the moment, it is working, but it does need a little bit of cleanup done to it. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to flip the base around for starters, because it's easier to access and it's less likely that we are going to damage the neck if we can get to it cleaner. Now see, right where the brass and the metal meet, there is a little bit of residual that's squeezed out. For some of you it's no big deal, and actually this one came out pretty clean, so it's not really that big of a deal either. But I don't like this little edge right here, so I'm going to take my Dremel and I'm going to bevel this edge down so that it's smooth whenever I reach up there and touch it, so it's not harden out. I'm just going to bevel the edge of it. And as I do that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of that little residual that came around. Make it look real nice.
Keep on pushing on down that road. Never know what waits for you till the end. Oh yeah, keep on driving. Your chance won't wait. Tomorrow's another day. Keep on driving, keep on striving, keep on pushing on down that road. Never know what waits for you around the next bend. Go, keep on driving, keep on striving, keep on pushing on down that road. Never know what waits for you till the end. Oh yeah, keep on driving. Keep on driving. No, yeah, keep on driving. Never looking back. Keep on driving.
Alright, that should do it. Nice and smooth. Not hard to touch or anything. End up a little bit off the sides. What we want to do is basically want to flip it over and do the same to the other side. I'll leave you to do that on your own, and that pretty much finishes it all up. This is how you fix your tuner for less than 50 cents. Thank you. Hope you guys had a good time. Hope it helped a lot of people out there. And if you got some free time, don't forget to look up my band, the Renegade Masons. You can find us on Reverb Nation, SoundCloud, and Facebook.